Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn something which you have already learned in your lower classes, and that is motions of the earth. And in motions of the earth, we are going to learn about rotation. Now, every day we see the sun rising in the east and setting in the west, which make us imagine that the sun is moving in the sky while the earth is stationary. But actually, this is not so. It is the earth which is moving and the sun is stationary. So, what exactly is rotation? Rotation is the spinning of the earth on its axis from west to east. So this is very important for all of us to learn that rotation is the spinning of the earth on its axis from west to east once in 24 hours. This is very important. You must remember this definition, that how it has to be 24 hours, how the earth is rotating at 24 hours. Now, what is the axis of the earth? Now, the axis of the earth is an imaginary line. You can see over here, the axis is an imaginary line. And it takes 24 hours to complete one rotation around its axis. The earth is not straight, but it is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degrees. So this angle it makes, that is 23.5 degrees, it makes with that of the perpendicular. Here is the perpendicular and the axis makes an angle of 23.5 degrees from the perpendicular. The two poles, that is the end point of the axis, are the two poles. One is the north pole and here we have the south pole. From the plane of orbit, the axis makes an angle of 66.5 degrees. This is the plane of orbit and the axis makes an angle of 66.5 degrees. We must always remember that the tilt of the axis is in one direction and it is in the same direction, and this tilt of the axis is also known as the inclination of the Earth's axis. Now let us move on to another very important feature, and that is the line of illumination. So here all of you can see that the sun's rays are coming and it is lighting the earth on one side while the other side is in darkness. Now, since the earth rotates from west to east, only half of the earth which faces the sun experiences day. Now, since the earth is an opaque body, so the sun's rays can only light up half of the earth. The rest half is in darkness. That is why this line of illumination, this is the line of illumination which is the imaginary line which separates the earth, which separates those places which are having day from those having night. Another thing you need to remember is that the equator rotates at the fastest speed. And why does it rotate at this fastest speed? Because it is the circumference of the earth, and it makes it covers a distance of 40,000 kilometers. Now, since the earth is rotating, and at the equator the bulge is the greatest, so here the speed is also the highest. And what is the speed? It is 1670 kilometers per hour. And as we move away from the equator towards the poles, be it in the northern hemisphere or in the southern hemisphere, as we move away from the equator, the speed of rotation becomes less. And at the poles, we do not have much speed. Why? Because it is just a point. Another very interesting thing is that even though the earth is moving at such a great speed, we are not able to realize how speedily the earth is moving. And why is this? Because everything, including the atmosphere, is also moving with the earth. That is why we do not feel anything around us is moving. Now, what are the effects of rotation? Now, since the earth is moving from west to east, everything from the earth we find to be moving from east to west. Be it the sun, the moon, the stars, all are moving from east to west. Here we can see the sun rising, and it is setting on the west. It is rising in the east and setting on the west. Have a look at the shadow of the tree. The shadow of the tree is becoming shorter, and when the sun is at midday, that is right at its zenith, that is the highest point, we find the shadow of the tree to be the shortest. Besides this, we find that due to rotation, day and night occurs. So, because of the movement of the earth, the day and night keeps occurring. And this can be understood from this particular movement of the earth. Here we can see that because of the sun's rays, only half of the earth is getting lighted. So the part which is facing the sun is having day, while the part which is facing is away from the sun is having night. Here you can see the lights are being switched off during day while they are being switched on during the night. So due to rotation, the daily occurrence of day and night occurs on the earth. Next we have an important observation, that is the time difference of 4 minutes for 1 degree of longitude is observed mainly because of the rotation of the earth. By now you are also familiar that because of the rotation of the earth, we find that every longitude faces the sun after every 4 minutes. So a 15 degree of longitude will be facing the sun, or it will be moving in front of the sun in 1 hour or 60 minutes. Now, due to rotation of the earth, a force is generated on the surface of the earth, and that is known as the Coriolis force. So here we can see that due to the rotation of the earth, a very important force begins to be exerted on the earth, which is known as the Coriolis force. And all moving body begins to move to the right in the northern hemisphere and to the left in the southern hemisphere. Be it winds or ocean currents, they will all move in a clockwise direction in the northern hemisphere and anti-clockwise direction in the southern hemisphere. And all this occurs mainly because of the force which is exerted on the earth due to rotation. Next, very important effect which occurs due to rotation is the tides. About this also you all are familiar with. Now, when tides occur, what do we find? That there is the bulging of the water on either side of the earth, and this mainly occurs because of the rotation of the earth around the sun. So, since the earth is rotating and the moon is exerting a gravitational pull on it, so the part which is facing the moon will have a high tide, and opposite will also have high tide, that is the antipodal area. While at right angles we will have low tide, because all the water has been concentrated in those areas where the pull has been the greatest. The last effect which the earth has due to its rotation is the shape of the earth. Now, the shape of the earth is a geoid. And what is a geoid? A geoid is an oblate spheroid where there is, at the equator there is a bulging, and at the poles there is a flattening. And because of this, we find that the earth is having a shape roughly like that of an orange. That is, it is bulging at the equator and it is slightly flattened at the poles. And this mainly occurs because of the speed of movement. Speed of movement of the earth is so high that this part, that is the central part of the earth, has been thrown away, and that is why it is having a bulge, while the poles get flattened because of this speed movement, the movement which is occurring on the earth. So today we have learned about a very important part of the motions of the earth, and that is rotation. In the next chapter, we will be learning more about another motion of the earth, and that is revolution. So that is what we have enough time for today. Thank you.